everyone, and welcome back. In this tutorial, we'll be taking a look at how to use Teamwork for project management. So Teamwork is a collaborative space that allows us to manage everything, most especially for multiple projects, clients, and budgets, as well as a company. After signing up and setting all of the information about your company, this is what your dashboard look like. So as you can see, it is quite empty at the moment. So we're gonna go ahead and create our first project. Now, as you can see here on the left side dashboard, we have some multiple options that we can take a look at. We have the chance to add a task if we wanted to, but this is not yet available until we have created a project. So let's go ahead and cancel that for now. Once everything is set up, you can easily choose all of this. We have the chance to search if it's not viewable or you're not really sure where to look for. It will allow us to search through everything. We can go and jump to. We can access all the different clients that we have, the different projects, some available templates as well, some workload, budgets, reports, and there's many more as well. Now let's take a look at some templates. So the easiest way to, get everything all set up is to use templates. Templates are already generated for people who have worked on something quite similar. So let's say we'll create a podcast planning template. What does this look like? I'll go ahead and use template. And as you can see, it says project created. So this is the a generated project that we have right now. So it's called podcast planning template project. So what the structure would look like is you have the tasks themselves. And if we open up the navigation, so you can see here, these are all of the tasks available. And at the moment we are showing the pre-production. And here are all the individual tasks that needs to be done. So some are completed as done already. Some are, still in to do. We have the date when it needs to be due by and the type of category as well that we need. What's really nice too is that we have some estimated time so that we can actually see how long this particular task would take. And here, these flags allows us to take a look at the priorities. So of course, red being high, green being low. And if we take a look at the board, this is allows us to see everything as, either a to-do list, what's needs to be done, what's currently being done, what's on hold, or if there are any blockages, and what has been completed. And we have some backlogs here as well. Say if people, if these are not yet required for the current sprint, then we can just hide it. But say if we want to do something already, record the episode, we can easily just drag that as a card. So all of these are just cards, which we can just drag. So everything is quite manageable. It's we have the entire backlog, we have the entire system that needs to be done. And then it allows us to also say that, it's completed already. So if I take a look at this card, you can see it's added it into the done tag and it's already done right there. We take a look at it as a table. So this, allows us to view everything in. And as you can see, the recording, post-production and post promotions, all of that has not yet been fully completed, but the task is there. We haven't assigned it to anyone else, and also the priority. But here in the pre-production, this is a more complete sprint and allows us to get an overview of what are the priorities of each one. What's also really nice is that we have some logged time right here. So how that works is, so imagine if we are looking at this project right now, we can add the log time right here, how long it took. Also, we can, if we're going to start working on it, and if time is really important for you, you can actually start the timer already. So say, if I press it here, and it's recording everything right now, which is really cool. And once that the time, once that we're finished with the time, we can log the time itself. So let's just log as complete. There you go. So once it's completed, you can see it's removed it already. Let's put it down here as a completed task. Now, if we take a look at the dashboard, this gives us information on, an overview of everything. So what has been done, what has been digested, what has been done, what are some upcoming projects that we need, what are some of the projects, what are some of the tasks which hasn't been completed yet. As you can see here, because the schedule is done already, like past time, some of them are shown as late. So as a project manager, you can easily see everyone's activity itself. So as you can see here, the project trends we can see right now, and from here we have 32 activities happening, and that needs to be completed as much as possible. And now if you take a look at the top right, you can actually automate all of this if you wanted to. So you can think of it like shortcuts. So say when a due date arrives, you'd want to notify people. When a priority change, you add a subtask. There's plenty of shortcuts or automations that you can take a look at, but I'm not gonna go through all of this in further detail. If you want a video on that, we can generate that. Just leave a comment and we will generate or create a tutorial on how to use automations in Teamwork. Now let's take a look at the files. So of course, if we've added any uploaded, if we have uploaded any files, we can see it right here in the time section. So these are all of the different loggings that we have. Again, if this is very, very important to you, then I use this logging feature as much as possible. Finance also allows us to see the project's budget and any billings as well. So say for example here I have done this, and you can see the cost of this. You can see the cost of this and how much it would have taken, and then we have some milestones as well and many more. So now let's go ahead and create an initial project that we need or that we want to do. So let's go ahead and add a project. I'm gonna click on add project right here, and then rather than using a template, let's create one from scratch. Let's choose a name. So let's call it, I don't know, party planning project, and then choose the company which is representative of it. Let's just keep this as is. You can add some descriptions too if you wanted to. Let's go to the next step. Again, you can take a look at available people who's in here. So I'm gonna add myself, and then you can add a category as well, a project category if you wanted to. If there is none, I'd suggest generating one. This can be for, I don't know, a social. So choose a color. Let's add that category. Add tags to this project. As you can see here, these are the different project tags that are available. So let's say this is planning and it's also a paid social. Is it billable in terms of the time? Let's say it's not. Yes, okay, sure, we'll keep it as is. You can also add some custom fields if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna leave that blank. So let's go ahead and create a project. Now, as you can see, here is the project itself. It's completely empty, and I'm gonna create a task list. So let's give that task list a name. Let's say the first one is initial planning. So that's the task list name. Let's add it and let's add that list right here, and then let's add a task. So what needs to be done during the initial phase? Of course, you'd want to start meet with the client to determine event details and objectives, So who's going to be doing this? You can select the people, when does it need to be done by, in a day's time. No, when does it start? In a day's time. When is it due? Let's say on Monday. And then you can add some additional tasks as well. What kind of a priority is it? This is low, medium, or high. Let's just say it's a high priority. And of course, have we actually started this already? So let's say we've created an initial message to our client. So it's already 10% done. How long would it take? So let's say for a coffee brainstorm, I'd probably take an hour. So let's say it's an hour to estimate, and then there's other things as well that needs to be done. There's also this dependencies section. So this means that if you want to make sure that a task needs to be completed first, then you can create a dependency on that project. But since this is the very beginning, then it is fine. So let's go ahead and create this task. So this is the task right here for the initial planning phase. I'm just gonna add another one. So let's say research and propose potential venues. Again, it's for me, but this time I'm gonna add that dependency. We can't really create we can't really research until we've met the client. So I'm gonna choose this, select this task, and as you can see, we've done this. So it says right here that we are waiting on the following task. This one must be complete before this task can start or be completed. So of course, we can't really start this without that. So let's go ahead and create that task as well. So as you can see, which is quite smart, is that I can't tick this task, or I can't really start this task without this task being completed. Now, so we have a sample task. If you take a look at the board, we can go ahead and add that board. So let's say a not started board, save that, and then let's say a doing board and a completed board. So again, this is a typical Kanban itself. Let's go ahead and go to our backlog and then drag this and this. So imagine we're in a sprint right now, and these are the things that we'd like to do for this sprint. It's no longer in the backlog. It's already in the needs to be done for this specific sprint. And then let's say that I am doing this right now, and then we have completed meeting the client. We can go ahead and complete this, but as you can see, this is actually not marked as complete yet, because these Kanban states we have done are not automated. So this is where we add the automation in. So I'm going to bring this back here into doing, and I'm going to go to this completed and then go into the options and then add automation right here. Now it says when this happens, so the board column changes, and in the board column is the completed column or board itself, and then the project itself, we just keep this as is. So basically, it's if all of these states happen, what do you want to do? So let's select an action. What I want to do is I want to go down and complete the task itself, and then you can add a comment to notify task followers as well if you wanted to. Just I'm just going to leave it as is, and then I'm going to click create right there. So it is now an automation. It's waiting for this trigger to happen. Now let's click off this, and then I'm going to drag this into completed, and as you can see, it ticks this as a done. There is also again a comment that we selected earlier on. So this is the bot saying that this task is complete already, and as you can see here on the bottom left, I have been notified, since I am a member, that this task is complete. And now once that this is completed, we should be able to use this now. And then let's, say that we're doing this research now and we've completed it. Once we've completed it, again, this becomes automated. And we have completed this task as well. Now, if we take a look at the dashboard itself, we can see our project has been completed right here. And we can see the summary right here. We can also see the activities of what has happened. And there you go. So you have completed all of the tasks for this. So the completed task list is completely finished. There is no more, and the project is done. If there are any more projects that needs to be done, so let's say, for example, we've done the initial phase, we want to generate, coordination of the venue and the vendors, we can go ahead and do that. We can add tasks, say, for example, finalize the event venue and sign necessary contracts. We can do that as well. Again, research vendors, research and secure vendors for catering. We can create that task as well. We go over to the board. Again, it will be in the backlog right here. In the tables list, we can actually see everything if we wanted to. So we can, again, set how long something would take. If we needed to make some adjustments, what is the priority right here, how long it would take. Let's say 5 hours. Research would take about 2 hours. And then if there is any logging as well, we can do that. So say, for example, we are going to, start these right here. And then we start finalizing some things. We go ahead and open this up. And then we start the timer. And then we carry on with our job. Blah, blah, blah. It's going to, run this all throughout. And then imagine that we have completed this already. So let's log the time right here. You can also then mark this as complete and then log the time. So that's done. And then this will be, we can drag this into completed as well. Or we can actually automate that as well. So what we need to do is go into automate. And then what we're going to do is go down and look for time right here. And then scroll down until you see when time is logged, move to board column. So let's use this template and then say it's billable. We would want to select the project that we're using. So this one, party planning. And then we're going to move the card into a completed state. So I'm gonna create this automation right here again. So it is waiting. And then say, for example, we start the timer right here. And then we stop the timer or we log the time itself. So I'm going to click log time. Now what's going to happen is it's going to complete that task and then move it over to this state, which is really cool. And again, so we will do this and then you can log the time or we can start the time. But as soon as we log the time itself, this will be completed as a task. So say we took 30 minutes, we log the time. Even though we didn't tick the task is complete, it still does this and it still completes right there. And there you go. So you can use teamwork as a team together for project management. You can also use this to have an overview of everything. You can take a look at what everyone is working on, what is the current sprint, what are the priorities and the deadlines. And also the logging feature is quite nice to see how much effort or how much time someone has spent on a certain task. And this allows us to, manage the project itself even more. Well, that's it for today's tutorial. I hope that you have found this tutorial useful. If you have any more questions on this tutorial, just leave a comment and we will get to you as soon as possible. And let's not forget to hit that like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.